place that set the standard for Vegas fitness. Then came Northwest, near Summerlin, sharing the Fit Club gym culture and vibes across Las Vegas. And the crown jewel, Henderson, a cutting-edge space designed for bodybuilders, competitors, and anyone chasing their best self. Fit Club Las Vegas, now with 3 locations.
We don't just fight insurance companies, we train for it. If you want results, get a lawyer that puts in the work. 107. Do you trust a lawyer that doesn't train? 102. Or a lawyer that quits when it gets tough. Pacific West Injury Law. We're built to win.
All right, so we just had a crazy guest walk in here right now. Hana White, welcome. We thought we were gonna go. We thought we had some really big guests here. This is a truly a pleasure to have you here, man.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
We never thought we'd
Local.
You're like 3 minutes from my office. It's perfect.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I get to train over at your crazy gym over there sometimes.
Yeah. How do you like that?
No one knows about everyone. I'm like, oh, I train at UFC. They're like, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
I said, no, you haven't. Not to this one.
Yeah.
And I know the leg section's crazy over there, and you guys have all that variety. So, I'm kind of a gym nerd. So I've been,
I am too. Oh shit, Mr. President, how are you, sir? Yeah, I can hear you perfect. Of course, right when we start the fucking podcast.
It's okay. We're good. We're good to go.
Hey, you can just say what just happened. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Little pause.
I was gonna say,
little business
that
calls.
will never happen again the rest of our life.
You know what's kind of funny? So when I think about, I watch, we've obviously watched what you've done over the years, and being in Vegas, you've done so much for the community here. But I was asking everyone around, like, how does Dana handle his time? Like, time management is so crazy, right? I mean, that's what makes everyone so efficient. So
I always say I have a lot of things, but time isn't one of them. I'm at the office most of the time. I spend most of my time there.
But do you sleep is the question.
Yeah, I don't sleep a lot, but yeah, I obviously sleep, but I don't require a ton of sleep like most people do. I actually saw this guy on the Rogan podcast. I didn't see the whole podcast. I just saw a clip, but he was basically like, people who claim they sleep 5 hours a night are full of shit. And I was like, yeah, no, dude, you're full of fucking shit.
Yeah.
I've been sleeping 5 hours most of my life. And I don't require a lot of sleep. But then there'll be times where, I'll knock out for 10, 12 hours or something like that every once in a blue moon. But yeah, I don't require a lot of sleep. I don't actually like to sleep.
I always said when I was training like full capacity for this stuff, I always said you have to sleep in at least a 5-hour stint in order to recover properly. People say, oh, bodybuilders sleep 8 or 10 hours or whatever else to get full recovery. But I think from what I've researched, it was about 5 hours straight is really what's kind of required.
Well, now I just saw this thing. I don't know if it's true. You don't know what to believe that you see on the internet, but they're saying that they just saw that some people have a gene that don't require a lot of sleep, certain, and that would actually make sense to me. But I know people who love their sleep and sleep as much as they can, and then people like me that don't like to sleep.
Yeah, because
I will literally stay up as late as I possibly can and then just sleep a few hours and then get up and start all over again. But I literally love my life.
You stay up that late pretty much, like
every night.
When will you go to bed tonight, you think?
Last night I went to bed at 4. Night before that I went to bed 3:34. I do that almost every night.
All right, take 2. Hey guys, if you have not heard, I've launched my own TRT clinic. TRT Kingdom is now live. And if you'd like to schedule on consult or get more information, make sure you guys go over, check it out, and let us see how we can help with your health needs.
Click the link below.
Shit.
Say click the link below. Okay.
Click the link below.
Yeah.
Are you gambling? Or is that
No, I shouldn't say I haven't gambled, but I've only gambled a couple times in the last 2 months. Yeah.
Seems like
I just gambled in New Orleans. We had Power Slap out there.
Yeah, I saw that.
We do the big thing after, but yeah, we played Baccarat out there.
And that was a minute since you actually been out there, right? It was You haven't had an event there in quite some time, right?
Yeah. We the last time that I was on Bourbon Street, it was me and the Fertitta brothers, and we were there to watch the UFC because we were thinking about buying it. That's the last time I was on Bourbon Street.
What year was that?
Had to be 98, 99.
Wow.
Something like that.
And let me ask you this: did Trump put on your first event for you guys?
Yeah. So
Taj Mahal, was that the first one? Then?
yeah, at the Taj. So the UFC had such a bad stigma attached to it that venues didn't even want us. And Trump at the time, now think about where the Trump brand was and where our brand was. He said, yeah, come to the Taj. Showed up to the first fight of the night, first prelim, and stayed till the end, both times that we did the Taj. And then after that, anything good that would ever happen to me in my career, he would be the first guy that would reach out and say, like, I'll give you an example. When we were on the cover of the New York Times for the first time, and they were, did a story on us, he said, "Congratulations, Dana. I always knew you were going to make it," and sent me the front page of the paper. Stuff like that he would do.
But he wasn't into like fighting himself.
Oh, he was, yeah.
Really?
He loved fighting. I mean, all the fights, he had us come to the Taj, and when you think about all the other people that have fought at the Trump Taj Mahal back then, he was always into fighting.
And what about, at one point he wanted to do his own thing, didn't he? Or
yeah, so I think that was Don Jr. that got that whole thing rolling. But yeah, he was even involved. And back then, people would try to get me to talk about him, negatively.
Yeah.
And I would always say, I'll never say anything bad about Trump. Trump was,
And you
Trump,
guys
yeah,
aligned.
he was great to us.
Just with a phone call from the president, right?
For real.
Yeah. Yeah. So we became really close.
Go back to the time management. Like, obviously,
Oh, that's what we're talking
schedule's
about, time management.
Crazy busy. How do you juggle all this?
Well, there's every day that you get up, there's certain things that phone call that I just had to get done today. And then, you have your list of to do. I got to get this, and this done. The thing that I love about being in the office and not working remote is every day shit will happen that you don't expect to happen, that will pop up, or somebody will roll in your office, one of your people, and they have an idea or a problem that needs to be fixed. And when you're all there in the office, you jump on it and you just try to knock out your to-do list for the day, plus put out, all the fires that pop up that day.
I know, but with your travel schedule, you're not always available in the office. So when to jump back in, be on a different time zone after flying back, you probably come back and go right to business. I
literally,
it's tough,
when we get back, I got my guys that travel with me and everything, but when we get back, they get to handle their shit that they need to do. I jump right back on the hamster wheel and start going again as soon as we get home.
Like you go right from the airport sometimes.
I go straight from the airport to the office every time we land.
Sound familiar?
Literally every time we land, I go straight to the office.
What I've witnessed for 20 years. Same thing here.
That is crazy. Yeah, because you go to all these foreign places. I mean, it seems like, I used to come to a lot of UFC events back.
Yep, I remember.
The ages.
Yep.
I was invited as a guest. I think at that time it was still in the building phase. I mean, it was like Randy and Chuck and all those guys. And, they used to happen every once in a while. Now,
we used to have 5 events a year. Now we have 44 events a year.
Which it seems like more than that, actually.
Yeah. Well, you got 44, but if you add the Contender Series and the Ultimate Fighter and, all the other shit that we do. Plus now we got Power Slap. We just started UFC BJJ. We got
boxing.
Yeah, boxing now too. Yeah.
Mentioning the Power Slap, how did that come about?
So I started to see this popping up on Instagram in like 17 and 18. And what I noticed is I usually go by gut. Now I'm jaded and, I've sat in the best seats for a million fights and I've been in the fight business since I was 19. When I started to watch the Power Slap stuff, before it was Power Slap, I said, what made me interested is that I wanted to see, I'd stay and watch to see who won. And then I took a deeper dive into it and started looking at some of the numbers on YouTube. First of all, the production quality was terrible. They looked like they were slapping in a barn. They were literally slapping over a barrel. And I said, damn, what if I did this and actually turned it into a sport? gave it the right production and, made a good live event out of it, I think this could be big. And usually when I feel that way, I just go with it. If I'm in the mood, I go with it. So I literally called the Fertittas and said, I'm into this slapping stuff. What do you think? They both said, what do you need? I said, I need $1 million from both of you, from you and Frank. And they said, we're in. So we all put up $1 million, and Power Slap began a little over 2 years ago, like 2.5 years ago.
And now, from what I understand, it gets more views than even the UFC.
Yeah. Crushes it on social media, and the live event is fucking awesome. And yeah, it's
but you have them outside, like you've had them like at Fontainebleau and these other places, right? Like,
yeah. So
so
we started it at the Apex.
Okay.
Then we moved it over to Durango. Then we did a deal with Fontainebleau. Then we went out to Abu Dhabi. Then we went to Saudi Arabia. Now we just took it to New Orleans, and in the United States next. My next spot, I would love to take it to Hawaii. We got a lot of Hawaiians who compete in it, and the UFC has never been to Hawaii. So I would love to bring Power Slap to Hawaii next. It's either going to go Hawaii, Texas, Florida, one of those places. And then we're going to do Qatar.
And how big is the roster?
I don't even know what the roster is right now, but we have a good number of guys and growing. Yeah.
Is it something like you're an amateur and you have to, how do you determine who comes on? Is there a ranking?
So think about this. So when we bought the UFC, right? The UFC wasn't the biggest. It was the most well-known, but it wasn't the biggest. There was Pride out there in Japan and tons of other competitors here in the United States. So there was already a steady flow of talent out there. With Power Slap, there are some knockoff leagues. There's one down in Brazil. There's one here in the U.S. It started in Russia and Poland. I think there's one in South Africa too. But to have a steady flow of competitors coming through, we now started running the guys through combines over at the PI. And for instance, there's a bunch of people out there that want to get into the AEW or the WWE, right? And these guys will fucking jump off a ladder onto a table full of tacks for $50 a night. You can come into Power Slap and make a shitload of money. You know what I mean? So, and these guys are all tough guys, big guys. So we're looking at these guys that wanted to be professional wrestlers and a lot of other athletes around the world that didn't become professional athletes to come into Power Slap.
So you incentivize them. So the money obviously is building, okay, which there's a lot more than
there's real money in this. Yeah.
It's with sponsors. You have over 30 sponsors with the event, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, no, this thing's for most of these. So when you start a business like this, the problem is money. You got to have money to put. Money is not a problem for us. The problem for us is finding a steady flow of talented guys that can come through. So any big guys out there, if you're a bodybuilder or you're trying to be a pro wrestler or any of that shit, whatever your dream is, you can literally come into this and make some real money.
I don't hear a lot of those guys speak often though, because like they don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. Is there like a
they do interviews after the.
Is there like a press conference of? Like
yeah. There's a press conference. Okay. Yeah.
And how many people can attend? Like, how can people attend a Power Slap event?
Yeah, whatever venue we're at, we
limited number.
We just did the arena that we did in New Orleans. It was almost like this arena was built for Power Slap. It was perfect. The crowd out in Louisiana was incredible. At the UFC and at Power Slap. So this was probably our best event. Then we do the big gambling thing after, and Caesar's Palace was New Orleans is where we did it. I always shit on casinos outside of Vegas. Let me tell you what, the two groups, Caesar's Palace, every one of their casinos, in Vegas, Kansas City, and now New Orleans that I've been to, will make you feel like you were in Las Vegas. They are so fucking good at what they do. And then the other casino outside of Vegas, that is an absolute fucking home run, is the Encore in Boston. Incredible. Every other casino that I've been to outside of Las Vegas, dumps. shitholes. And
It sounds like I was told.
dump shitholes in places that you should not fucking risk your money. Yeah.
That's speaking standards, because I know you're a Vegas guy.
100%.
I mean, you love to have the events here.
The Caesars Palace Group, they own Caesars here. They own a bunch of places. It's the Carano family. They own a bunch of places in Reno. They got Kansas City, and we just did New Orleans. And I hit up the CEO, Anthony Carano, and I tell him, this is unfucking believable that I could come to Kansas City or New Orleans and still feel like I'm in Vegas. Those places are so well run, and New Orleans has a Nobu and a great steakhouse, and yeah, it's pretty impressive.
So
The
next
ship,
time you go to Boston,
yeah,
because
Boston.
you guys are both from the same area.
Well, two things. When you go to Boston and you stay at the Encore, you literally, I'm assuming you love Boston the way that I love Boston, but you feel like you're in Boston, but you feel like you're in Vegas at the same time. Their gym is excellent, and their spa is off the charts. They have a cold plunge in there. They have the sauna. They have the steam, and they have this one of those what do they call them? Like a fucking waterfall. Like you go into the water and fucking just dumps on. Yeah, it's incredible.
That's where I picked up my Woodway treadmill, actually, after using one of their treadmills. It was like the Rolls Royce of treadmills.
Yeah.
And obviously Nicky Verano, he's a good buddy of mine, right?
So okay, yeah. Of course.
downstairs.
Yeah.
So he's always like, come stay over here so you can go eat at the restaurant. But I like to stay near the North End. I'm staying at Boston Harbor Hotel a lot when I'm there. So
That's where I used to stay too. I mean, that's where I worked. That's where I worked
I
when
saw
I
you dressed up as a
when I grew up.
bellman, not-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a commercial with Dana was dressed up as a bellman.
No, so we did. We have a show called Looking for a Fight. Me, Matt, and Dean go around, and we did one in Boston, and I had them stay at the Boston Harbor Hotel because that's where I was a bellman there. So I dressed up as the bellman, and I went and took their bags and brought them up like the old days. Yeah. I love the Boston Harbor too, but since they built the Encore, fuck that shit. I'm staying at the Encore, man. It's the spa is second to none. It's incredible. Yeah. And that hotel, if you gamble, that hotel feels almost like Vegas.
Yeah.
They have
It's
when
exactly
you go
the same inside.
well, when you go to different states, they have different regulations and things you can do when you play, which is, a little irritating, but Encore in Boston is as close to Vegas as you'll get, other than the Caesars Palace places outside of Vegas are a fucking home run. If you gamble and you are a gambler, play at any of the Caesars Palaces out of Vegas. It's awesome.
They better sponsor your events for this one.
Nah, listen, I'm very passionate about certain things, and gambling is one of them. So for these guys that know exactly what I'm saying, that play like I play, and deal with all the frustration and the bullshit and the podunk backward ass bullshit that you have to deal with in these casinos outside of Vegas, Caesars Palace is the best.
I used to live in Macau. Have you been to?
Oh shit, yeah, of course.
Macau, the win there.
So when that first opened, man, that place was booming. I have never gambled there though. I've been there but never gambled. But recently people have been telling me I'm going on a big tour of China in August. The government invited me out. And I'm going to tour like all of Shaolin Temple, the Wall, and all these things in China.
Love it.
I'm doing it in August. So
I used to work for the Ho family. They own most of the stuff there.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking very forward to it.
You're going to love it.
You're talking about the guy who owned all the the guy who owned all the
Stanley Ho is the main guy.
Casinos.
Yeah. He passed away a couple years ago, but I worked for his son.
Then you know this. Then you know this. So Stanley Ho that he's talking about, if you look at the Forbes list every year, this guy's the richest guy, this guy's bullshit.
No.
So all the people that you see that are number one and all that shit, not true. There are people that are richer. And I guess for a while there was a debate. Who was richer, Stanley Ho or Putin? Like those were the two top guys that people thought were the two richest guys in the world. So
when I was there, he owned like all the licenses. He owned the airport. He owned everything. He was in his 90s. But when you go to the casinos there, it's just like here. They don't have the nightlife,
right?
But luxuries is, and I've heard somewhere you've always wanted to gamble $1 million a hand.
It's funny you say that. That's where everybody was telling me. People,
sure.
I
gambled $2 million in there.
They said, you want to play $1 million a hand, go to Macau. They'll take your fucking action all day.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
I gotta get him over there.
How long did you work for him?
I was handling the entertainment at one of the casinos there. So it was like not directly underneath.
Got it.
Not for him, but
Yep.
for one of his properties.
Yep.
And at the time they had Crown Melcro, which is all over Australia, Philippines, Macau.
I just stayed there. Yeah. I in Australia. I've heard so much about this guy. I love the casino business. I love gambling, and I love all the fucking stories about all the guys that were involved in gambling. I love this city with a passion. And so I know all about him.
That was something I wanted to ask you. You've been in Vegas for how long?
Since 1978.
Okay. That's a long time. You can live anywhere in the world, unequivocally.
I would never.
Why Vegas?
I would never fucking live anywhere but here. And I have a house up in Maine that I love. Not only do I love it, all my friends want to go there. It's like my getaway place. I got a place in California, and I've stayed. My family loves Lake Austin. The list goes on and on. This is the only fucking place I could live. And I go to these other places and it's awesome, but in short spurts, and then I have to come back here. I love everything about this city. Best restaurants, everything's 24/7. This city I can't tell if this city was built for me or if I was built for this city, but I literally couldn't live anywhere else. I can go vacation and stay
What
places.
about Boston? Talk a little bit about your Boston roots, because we know you support the sports teams.
So when I say 1978, that's where we came from, and we moved out here. Single mom with 2 kids and a dog. We drove out to Vegas. My mom was a nurse, and Vegas was paying nurses more than anywhere else in the country at that time, and the cost of living was so cheap. So back then they paid nurses more, and you could get a house here for $30,000. So we moved to Vegas, and I was very lucky that I got to bounce back and forth. So I got some East Coast and I got some West Coast, and I really value that experience growing up, and I gave that to my kids. My son lives in Boston right now. My oldest son Dana lives in Boston, and he loves it there. And my time, when I was 17 to 25. I lived in Boston. I moved back there from here and lived there from that time, and it was great. When you're that age, Boston's the best, right? It's such a great experience. But now, at my age, fuck that shit. I couldn't live there right now. The winters fucking suck. Traffic, all the things that are a nightmare when you get older about Boston. But I love to visit.
And you go to obviously you have your events there, but you go watch the Celtics games, right?
Oh, I try to catch as many Celtics games as I can every season. Huge fan. Obviously.
What do you think about the sale that just happened? They just sold the team.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
All these owners are selling all these sports teams.
Yeah, I don't blame them. $6 billion, I'd be fucking selling too.
Well, I mean, you didn't really want to sell the UFC though.
Well, I did not.
Right?
Yeah,
and that was a big acquisition.
Here's the thing. If these guys are trying to sell, it's like the Lorenzo thing. Lorenzo wanted to sell and I didn't. And Lorenzo's like, I'm done. I'm out. I can't do it anymore. Be happy for me that I'm getting out and I don't want to do this anymore. But yeah, no, I wasn't ready to sell. But obviously if these guys, if they're at that place they want to sell, $6 billion is not a bad number.
Did you think though when that acquisition happened that you would stay in the position that you're in? Because you're you're the face. Was there that concern as like, okay, I exit with you, or
I'm still in a bunch of different businesses with them. We own a lot of different companies together, me and the Fertitta brothers. So I just figured, all right, what's next? What are we going to go do next? And we'll move on to the next thing. And they were like, we got to talk to you. Nobody's going to buy this if you don't stay. So, and now in hindsight, I mean, it's the greatest thing ever. We continue to break records, and I continue to, the
relationships, Dana, that you must make with this business. I mean, what happened during COVID, and you just taking the stance. I mean, just balls of steel, just
well, me staying was obviously the right thing, and you know, I love what I do still. So, but if I had not stayed, it would be fascinating to see what me and the Fertittas would be doing, where I could devote 100% of my time to it. You know what I mean? The businesses that we own now, some of them, you know, I have nothing to do with other than I'm an investor with them, and others I'm very involved in. But yeah, I mean, it's all good. It all worked out the way that it was supposed to.
All right, guys, the new flavor Buzzin' Orange is available now. You can grab this over at jcutler.com. Make sure you check it out. We're having a sale right now. Liquid L-carnitine, 3,000 milligrams. You guys want to get that crazy metabolism boost? Let's go.
You try to get them involved with everything. You guys kind of look at this as like a partnership, because I know you do like a Shark Tank type thing at your. I heard something about this.
Well, I joke saying every day is like Shark Tank at my office. People are coming and pitching me shit, but me, I'm like the third Fertitta brother. We're super tight and super loyal to each other, and if they're doing something, they invite me in. If I'm doing something, I invite them in. Sometimes we say yes and no to each other on what we want to be involved in and what we don't. But yeah, me and the Fertitta brothers, it's like, you know, it's almost 10 years now since we sold, but I mean, we're still as tight as we've ever been.
And, you know, they must have total faith in, like, you just push this thing. I mean, UFC did struggle for a long time. People think it was just automatically to the top, you know?
Well, what's funny is
so much resistance.
There's a business that was pitched recently to the brothers within the last year and a half. And they turned it down. They said, we're not interested. Then that business ended up coming to me like 4 months later. And I said, this is interesting. So I called Lorenzo, and Lorenzo said, yeah, we turned that down, but if you're in, we're in. If you're in, we'll fucking go in with you. So we're sort of still kicking the tires on that thing right now.
Let me ask you a question, though. Go back to the time management where we started. So,
yeah, no, you're not wrong.
A lot of hats. That's like, so how do you devote that time, man? Because like I said, I know you're on the plane and you're in front of people. And
well,
it's not like you can be on your phone doing all these
here's
things.
the thing. When your bandwidth starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller, the key to everything is no one person can do everything themselves. What your real talent has to be is building a good team around you. You have to build a good team around you and bring in the right people. For instance, when we sold and, you know, I got Lorenzo leaving, and then a bunch of guys got rich and left. So now I have to figure out, how do I fill these spots with the right people? And a couple of bad choices were made. I had to whack a couple people that I didn't like and didn't trust. And then brought in, when we sold, the team that I rebuilt was a fucking home run.
But how do you
I nailed
those people? Like, how do you, I mean.
There's certain people that you know in your life that, you know, are smart, hardworking, aligned with you. You trust them no matter what. And then there's other people that you like. They seem talented, they seem smart, and then you have to hope once they get in, they are the other things that you hope that they are.
And how do you determine to leave your friends out of it? Because I'm sure everyone's your friend, and they pitch you something like they're your buddy. And
yeah, I keep my circle super tight, and I'm not looking for any new fucking friends. I got enough friends. And the guys who've been with me, I mean, fucking Elliot over here has been with me. What have you been here, 20 years? Been with me for 20 years. The guys that I'll travel with, one of them's Marty Cordova. He was the American League Rookie of the Year in '95, played for the Twins. Me and him have been friends since 8th grade.
I met him at the gym, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these are the kind of dudes that are around me. Skipper Kelp, who boxed, he and I have been friends for fucking over 20 years too. And that's it, man. I've kept my circle really small, and yeah.
But, you know, as you get older, and obviously, you know, when you're trying to be home and spend time with family, you talk about all these trips you're going on the motorcycle, the house in Maine. Like, that's what I mean. Like, hey, Dana, let's hang out. Not much time, right?
Yeah, no, listen, when I go on trips, Let's hang out.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's what I'm there to do. I go to my place in Maine and blow my fucking brains out for 10 days. And I was just there for 4th of July. 4th of July is my favorite holiday. I go to Maine every 4th of July, and it's literally my closest people, family, and friends. And we have a blast, man. On the 4th of July, like, people from other towns show up at my house. I put on a fireworks show that'll fucking smoke any
Should
of.
I ask him how much you spent on fireworks? Would he know?
Do you know what the fireworks bill is? Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, it's a small town.
So
right?
yeah, it's a small town, right outside of Bangor, Maine, and you know, if you do like, like the end of a fireworks show when it's ending, it goes pop, 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 25 fucking minutes straight. It's like that. It's fucking awesome, man.
So your neighbors either love you or hate you.
I think they all hate me, but they are the best fucking people in the world. Never, ever. I got music blast until 4 a.m. There's just fucking madness going on at this place up there the whole time. Nobody has ever complained. Nobody's ever called. Actually, half the police are at my house. But yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, they've all been. They
Did
know.
you wreck the razor or? Okay. Who wrecked the car?
Yeah.
Who drove
Everybody rolls the
against
razor.
The house.
Me. That was me. I did that. Yeah.
I was. That hurt when I saw that, Dana.
It was fucking. I just got done. It was the garage. I just got done building that garage, and I crashed the fucking 69. Yeah, it was bad.
But you showed it like.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
So I've noticed you are what I call unfuckwithable, meaning you're cancel proof. At what point did you get in your life where you said, I can do what I want, I don't give a shit,
everybody
and I'm going
is.
to roll over?
You are too, and so are you, because I just said there's a small group of people that I give a shit about, them, their opinions, and everything else. And anybody who knows me, right? Outside of that, who gives a fuck? Fuck them, right?
What I mean by that is, like, in the business sense, like maybe you might say something and a sponsor be like, fuck you, I'm going to take your money away. At what point did you go, I don't need anyone. I can do what I want and I'm going to.
Every day. I mean, that every day, that's how I feel anyway. And then on top of that, there are sponsors that I don't want. I actually got rid of one of our sponsors, big fucking sponsor for big money. We went through the whole woke period, and they were the fucking worst ever to deal with. They don't have enough money to come back, and I don't want them. There's lots of other people out there, lots of other sponsors. Don't ever let any of these people torture you and make your life miserable over money and a sponsorship. There's plenty of other people out there that you can align yourself with. And maybe it's not as much money as that was, but I'll tell you this. Life will be a lot better without their money and their bullshit. And I never publicly put this company on blast because before COVID hit, they were great partners, right? But you don't know who's who in a relationship, in any type of relationship, business, personal, whatever, till the shit hits the fan. When the shit hits the fan, that's when we find out who's who. Who's a good friend, who's a good partner, who's a good, wife or husband or whatever it might be. You don't find out and you don't know until you hit hard times. And I say this, all the time about my people. I always tell my staff how much I love them and care about them and all that stuff. Well, you don't know until, bad times come, and it came. I always talk about this with me and my people, meaning my employees. I always talk a big game about how I feel about my people. The universe actually gave me the opportunity to prove it, and them me, because when I said we're going through COVID, my whole team rolled through COVID. We went, men, women, everybody. I'm sure, and I'm sure in my company, there are people that are on the opposite side of me politically and in a lot of different areas. I don't know because I don't care. Never once have I told my employees, we're gonna vote. We're gonna get out there and vote for Donald Trump. We're gonna do this and that. You're all grown men and women who live in America. You can vote for whoever you want to. Yeah. Not only that, I don't even say, "Hey, everybody, it's election day. Get out there and vote." Fucking grown men and women. If you want to vote, vote. If you don't want to vote, don't vote. I tell my employees to do anything except their job. That's it. We don't talk about any of that type of shit.
Well, you gave, you started the UFC ground up. You were like trying to egg on these fighters to had the heart to fight. And, if you don't want to be here, leave. Do you still give like those morale kind of like speeches or anything to people?
No, I think we're at a different level now. I think in the beginning, with my staff, we always do these awards celebrating the people who've been with us for 10 years, 15 years, 20 plus years. And in the early days, you had to do the rah-rah stuff because you have a vision. And hopefully you're going to bring in smart, talented people that believe in your vision and believe in you and want to go on this professional journey with you. But then once you get to a level like this, it's, it completely changes. But what I love about my staff, and I could walk you through, I could bring you over to the headquarters and walk you through department by department and show you people who love it as much as I do and go in there and grind and work hard every day. And, I've said this many times, we don't have this thing at the UFC where your shift is 9 to 5. And if you're not at work by 9:03, you get written up. And if you get written up this many times, we're all grown-ups, right? You know what needs to get done. Get your work done. Care if you fucking do it at 9 o'clock this morning or 9 o'clock tonight. Get your shit done. And by all means, if your kid has a play or a school function or a practice or a game, I hope you're going to be there. I hope you're going to go. That shit's very important to me too. So we run just a completely different business. We are a fucking circus. We are a traveling, most of these people are on the road all the time and they work really hard. We're going to have, I just put out a thing every year. I have a carnival in the back of our headquarters, and bring your kids and wives and friends and family. I try to throw 3-4 parties a year for the staff to come out and just fucking relax and bring your family into work. And, I want the kids to realize where their parents are all day. And, I don't know. I love my team and
that team's growing all the time.
Yeah.
Even when you launch into different PIs, right? You have all these different
100%
opening now.
Yeah, the PIs, and now I just opened up a bunch of offices for the boxing side of this thing now, and then we have a whole power slap team that's in there now.
That's what I was going to say.
And the jiu-jitsu team that's in there now, and it keeps growing. Thanks.
So all these are positioned. So you have like you said, the power slap guys are now they're training at the PI. So is that all the different PI? Because I know you have Mexico and these others, right?
We also have, when you look at the PI, the regular PI that when you walk into UFC headquarters, then over at the Apex, we have a huge facility over there now where the PI is expanded. And the Apex, we just did a $30 million renovation. Wait till this it's incredible. When the new Apex opens, it's going to blow people's minds.
Will you host more events there?
Yes. And not just ours, but other people's too.
That's pretty awesome.
This thing's going to be ready to go. There'll be a liquor license there. You can serve, liquor.
I've never been to the Apex for any of the events.
You haven't?
No, I never went.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize that.
All the time,
oh, that's crazy. Well, the bathroom situation was a fucking nightmare. Now there's just in the women's room, there's 30 stalls in the women's room. It's going to be badass when it's done.
Let's talk about your fitness crusade that you've gone on.
That's how I want to wrap it up.
Okay.
So, I'm a fitness guy. Obviously,
I've heard.
You ran into me at the Cosmo one year, and you walked up to me, and you're like, "You're a big motherfucker," And I don't think you realized who I was at the time, And obviously, you followed. You said you'd follow bodybuilding a little bit, Arnold, and obviously he was a huge inspiration. I won a few Arnold Classic. These are the Arnold trophies that I won, and I won 3 in a row. And he was the inspiration for me. Van Damme was an inspiration, and also Stallone. Those were the guys I looked at. I started in 91. So you have a boxing background, but did you Did you ever follow bodybuilding in a sense? I mean, looked
Yeah.
at magazines and said
I
you
mean,
watch Pumping Iron.
Yeah, Pumping Iron got me into it, and obviously Muscle and Fitness. Joe Weider, I mean, what that guy did for bodybuilding. But yeah, I mean, I would every month I would get the magazine and read it, and I always worked out. I was never into bodybuilding per se, but I followed the sport. Yeah,
About the nutrition and the training.
yeah, yeah.
And
of course.
now I know you're training like crazy. You know, Kevin's taking you in the gym all the time. You train
Yep.
in the morning. What, like, you went through this whole transformation. I mean, you were a bigger guy before.
Yeah.
And when did you decide, you know what, I'm going to become leaner and just more of the health aspect? Because I know you're working with Gary a little bit. And
A lot of it. Yeah. What happens is when you hit 50, fucking everything changes, man. And what starts to happen is you start to think, holy shit, this is what 50 feels like. I guess this is, and it's not true. That's what Gary Brecka, has taught me over the last 2 years. And now I've gotten more into, and the other thing was, we were in there benching one day, me and my head of production, his name is Craig Borsari. He's been with me for 20 years too. And, me and him used to do the big meathead workout every day. How much can we bench? And in Gold's Gym in New York, I put up 355 pounds on the bench. I don't know, probably 10 or 12 years ago. And, I was that type of a fucking meathead. Then I blew my shoulder out and he tore his pec, and we're both fucking, I'm 55, he's 45. And now I work out for reps and, trying to get leaner, eat right, cold plunge, and, all the superhuman shit that I do with Gary Brecka. It just, your goals change when you get older. And that's what happened to me. And I'm so lucky that I met Gary Brecka and learned this shit from him.
was it really like, hey, you have X many years to live at this? They said
Here's the
10
thing.
years or something.
How old are you now?
I'll be 52 and right after you.
Well, you know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
So when you're in your 30s and even your 40s, you can go out and eat fucked up dinners and do all this shit, and you can still function and whatever. When you hit 50, you try and eat like that and do that stuff, it's just, you can't do it anymore.
So did you just wake up one day and decide
No, so there's this girl named Carrie Kasem. Remember Casey Kasem?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, the top 40 and all that shit. His daughter and I have been friends for a long time. And she's one of those girls I always used to call a hippie. I used to call her hippie. She was into holistic medicine and all that shit, which I never believed in. Then COVID hit. Now I fucking know what a crock of shit the medical field is, and these doctors are all trying to put you on pills and sell you drugs. And I used to be that guy. So if I was going out on the road, when I was in my fucking 30s and early 40s, I'd be going out on the road and I'd start to get sick. I'd go see a local doctor here and he'd give me fucking pills and shots and all this shit, and I wouldn't get sick. You know what I mean? So I was doing all that shit. When Ambien came out, I started fucking taking Ambien. What a nightmare that shit is. And all this fucking garbage that these doctors try to put you on. I believed in until COVID. COVID changed everything. When I realized one day that I had COVID, I was in my steam room and I sprayed the eucalyptus and I couldn't smell it. I go, oh shit. I opened the bottle and sniffed it, nothing. When I stepped out of the steam shower, I didn't call my doctor. I fucking called Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said, do this, 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 and this.
ivermectin?
I did exactly what he said. The next day I woke up, I had my smell and taste back the next day and never had any effects from COVID.
Why did you call him though? Because you felt he was in front of people that like he's
No,
like,
I
that
started.
guy has so much knowledge.
I
Like,
started
he
to
seems-
see all the bullshit
Yeah.
that was going on with everybody else, and I felt the same way Rogan felt about everything that was going on. So I did it, and then all my family members that got it, my mother-in-law who's fucking 80 years old, and the list goes on and on. Not to mention the fact that my mother-in-law has had cancer twice, three times. Three times she's had cancer. Once when she was younger, like 10, 15 years ago, and now twice within the last couple of years. Gary Brecka has gotten my mother-in-law cancer-free twice. Most recently, like 3 weeks ago. She went in The doctors took her blood, and you have all these cancer cells that are flying around, and they know that you're about to get cancer, so you start getting into chemo and all the shit that they do, And because she's like 83 years old, so the doctors aren't as whatever with, well, she's 83 if she does this. So I always tell her, don't listen to these fucking guys. Listen to Gary. Gary sent her down to fucking Mexico, right? A few weeks ago. A week later, she did the blood work again, cancer free. Yeah, I'm not falling for any of this bullshit anymore, man.
Pretty amazing that because we're pretty I'm pretty stubborn. So if like someone tells me something, like I'm not so sure about that. So
well, that's the thing. I'll talk about these things on Gary Breck when this comes out.
Yeah.
People will be, oh, you fucking did it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell you on fucking anything. I don't give a fuck what you do. I talk about this stuff publicly so that people know there are other options out there and they do work, right? You got these guys that start trying to debate. There was some fucking goofy dude, big jacked up dude talking shit about Gary Brecka. Don't do it. I don't give a fuck.
But did he get you on a diet and everything too? And like I know you're close. What's the crazy thing? There's some ab thing at your office that people are talking about. It's like, how much is it? 60 G's.
I guess it's $100,000. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But this thing is down in the PI.
Okay.
So basically what they do is they put these, I'm not the guy to talk about it, but I do it every fucking, the guy comes in like twice a month and does my core. My core has gotten so much stronger from doing this thing. And where I notice it the most is riding my motorcycle. Because what starts to happen is, as you get older, I'm going to be 56 fucking next week. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to be 56 soon. And the 28th.
Birthday, by the way, just so you know.
Not that you give a shit, but I'm going to be 56 soon. And I've known a lot of guys in my life that are older than me that all have to start selling their motorcycles as they get older. You don't have the same reaction time, can't handle the bike the way they used to. And most of that stems from your core. So I want to be able to ride my bike. Every year I go on a big ride. And we go on fucking rides that if you make a mistake, you don't fall feet. You fall fucking miles off these cliffs. These are the kind of rides I still go on at 56 years old. And when I start to feel like I can't ride anymore, my last fucking ride of my life, I'm shipping all the bikes out to Italy. And we're going to start at the top of Italy. I'm going to ride all the way down to fucking Capri. And that will be my last ride of my life when I decide it. But I try to stay in great shape, obviously, to live a better quality of life. But I want to be able to ride for as long as I can.
And you train how many days a week, you think? Weights?
I train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I take Thursday and Friday off, and then I hit it again on Saturday. But every day, Monday through Sunday, I do recovery stuff every day.
Yeah, we can always get in the messages. We're looking for the gyms, and...
Yeah. So that's what I love too, is that I travel every Saturday, and I tell Kevin this every fucking Saturday that we work out. So Monday is like chest, shoulders, and tri day. Tuesday is back and buys, and Wednesday is fucking legs, right? We do death row every Wednesday because we're in town. Death row is at my gym is the nastiest line of fucking leg machines that you can do. And then Saturday, we do everything. We do a full body workout. And every Saturday, we're in a new gym somewhere in the world. So it's always different equipment on Saturday that we're hitting ourselves with. And I love that. I love using different equipment.
And the diet, no more crazy dinners when you guys travel?
Listen, I've had a rocky couple months. The last couple months
I've been... Some of your crazy dinners, man, are...
Oh, yeah. So we'll order fucking, like, all the craziest food that we think, even if we're not eating it, stuff we want to taste. And then I order every fucking dessert on the menu. That used to be my lifestyle for 25 years. And that shit catches up with
So you have a particular food that you stay eating now, and
yeah, I what's funny is, did you see how fucking ripped Dustin Poirier was for this last fight?
Carnivore.
So when he was fighting, even his back, I mean, the guy's back was chopped up into different fucking. It was, I've never seen him look so good as he did. Said he ate what did he eat? Red meat, avocados, and berries. Which is basically like a keto style.
That was the least I've ever seen a fighter.
So
you like a bodybuilder.
So is that what you're eating now? Or?
No, that's how I normally eat. Yeah, that's how I normally eat when I'm doing, when I'm doing the Gary Brecka fucking shit the way that I'm supposed to. But then, you know, you go to a couple places and it's like, oh, fuck, we were just in, when we were just in New Orleans, one of my big problems is fried chicken. I fucking love fried chicken. And I didn't eat it for like 2.5 years. We had Gus's fried chicken when we were in New Orleans. And we went to Gus's. What was the other place that we went to that was incredible? Oh, we were in Nashville. We went to Natty B's in Nashville. You ever been to Natty B's?
I haven't been there, no.
Uh-huh.
He's not a foodie at all.
Oh, really?
I'm
Good for
still,
you.
like super like I do meal prep and everything.
I wish I wasn't a foodie, but I am. I fucking
I
love
had
food.
to.
We actually had him go to
25 years.
We had him go to KFC for the first time and film it.
Yeah.
First
I
time in
had
his life
Kentucky
at like
Fried
50.
Chicken at
Never been to
50.
KFC?
Never had Kentucky
You
Fried Chicken.
set the bar low. Let me tell you what. When you go down south, Gus's Fried Chicken, Natty B's. Next time you're down south, call me. I will send you to places that will fucking ruin you. The chicken is so good. So good.
That must be good since he travels all around the world. You got the best food in the world, like every place there is.
Well, that's the thing. It's funny when people always say, "Oh, when you have money, it's easy to fucking not eat." No, when you have money, you have access to literally the best fucking food in the world, and you have to be disciplined.
It's especially hard when you travel around the world and you go to a new country and you want to try their local delicacy.
Well, in a few days, I'm going to be in Italy, right? Mm-hmm. Now, this is a fact. You can ask anybody that's been to Italy. You can eat pizza, bread, pasta, eat any of that shit. You'll lose weight while you're there. Yep. The way that they make the food, and it's fascinating. Yeah, our food's fucked up, and hopefully over the next, 3 years, while Trump is in here, and he's got Kennedy, they can clean up a lot of this food shit.
Yeah, it's a bad problem. My wife's from South Africa, and I go all over the world on a regular basis. When you come back to America, even when you eat the cleanest food, it feels worse in your body than eating a piece of pizza in Italy.
You're so right. You eat Italian food here, you feel like you just ate a fucking comforter. You know what I mean? Yeah. You go over there, you don't feel full, you don't feel gross, and you actually lose weight in the time that you're there. It's fascinating.
When I took Regan there the first time, I was like, just eat a piece of pizza. He's like, I can't, man. I can't have those type of carbs. And he ate the pizza. And then an hour later, he's like, I'm hungry again. I said, it's just, we're not in America anymore.
Yeah.
The food's clean.
So is that, you take a break when you go on these vacations? Is this a vacation or is it business?
Oh, I'm going to fuck up some Italian food on this trip.
Like how long do you usually go for normally?
What do you mean? I'll be there for 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know the Fertitas, everyone, you guys meet up at certain places. And
yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. Actually, McGregor, so this weird thing, I don't know if you're into this or you are into this, but every once in a fucking blue moon, like, especially with my older son, like, we'd be like, let's get a cigar, and we'd smoke a cigar and, fucking burping and tasting smoke for the next 3 days and be like, God, why did I do that? And then you do it again. Well, recently, I got into this whole cigar thing and this 8 Cigar Lounge over at Resort World. Yeah. Awesome. The guy who runs it is amazing. The people over there are all good. And they turn me on to these unfucking believable cigars. And I love them. So when I was just in Maine, I drank for 10 days straight and I smoked at least 3 cigars a fucking day. And I'm into this whole cigar thing. You ever do the cigar thing?
I never got into it, but everyone, it's supposedly like a major, like everyone, Arnold's a huge.
When you smoke the right cigar, you get it. You're like, all right, I fucking get it now.
When did you start? What age?
Cigars? I mean, I've been smoking cigars since I was in high school, but every once in a fucking, every once in a while, somebody busts out a cigar and I do it. And then I regret it for 3 fucking days. Now, these new ones, I'm fucking, literally, you've been to the headquarters. Mm-hmm. So in the back where the PI opened, the doors open up out into the back, the furthest over, there's this cabana out there. I'm literally ripping the whole fucking thing apart right now. I'm building a cigar bar out there. I'm going to put an outside humidor. My staff can go out there and fucking smoke. And I'm doing a whole cigar setup over there right now. And even a couple Christmas parties ago, we had a guy there rolling cigars, and it was the most popular thing at the Christmas party. So yeah, I'm totally into cigars right now. 8 Cigar Bar. You should go down there and give it a shot sometime. And maybe I'll invite you down and we'll go do it. And then see if you like it. They have these cigars called Romeo and Juliet's that are just fucking.
And where do they come from?
Unbelievable. think they're from Cuba.
Okay.
Best of the best is Cuba.
Well, I was asking him, about why Cuban cigars are the best. And he's like, why is Italian food in Italy the best? Why is, when you think about it, it's just, they got 80-year-old women down there smoking cigars, rolling them. Is it the dirt? Is it the leaves? Is it whatever? It's just, they have the best cigars in the world.
It's awesome, man.
I'm going to turn you into a cigar.
You just got to try
I
it.
guess if Dana invites me, I
will.
It's hard to say no to Dana,
And I'll get you when I open my new bar down there. I'll have you come down. We'll hang out, and when I open the cigar bar, we have like this this stage down there where we can have bands play and things like that, and our big employee meetings we can do out in the backyard. I'm going to hire a band out there when I open the cigar bar, and we'll all hang out and listen to the band, smoke some cigars. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great, man. Listen, we appreciate you coming on.
Pleasure.
I know
Thanks for having me.
Is limited.
Congrats on your success. I'm happy for you guys, and thanks for having me.
Man, you do so much for everyone. I know you're so generous with so many people, and like we only hear so many great things about what you do outside of your business, right? I mean, besides giving opportunity. I've watched it from the get-go. I mean, I used to follow it when, like I said, Chuck and all those guys, and I knew you managed a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
You were on working from the grassroots up, man. So it's great to see now the success. I'm excited to see what other business you guys start thriving in. Of course, I see Hunter a lot, so I get a little inside track, and of course Kevin, and we appreciate you coming over, man. So
thanks for having me.
Yeah, all the best. It's awesome.
Cool.